We start off this what if with Goku and the other Saiyans making their way into Frieza territory. They land on their first planet and they start destroying all of the Frieza Force bases and soldiers without any obstacles that could actually stand up against them. They continue on this path until they run into a familiar team of 5 members, the Ginyu Force. Goku already knowing Captain Ginyu and fighting him before. As soon as seeing them, he makes his way within a flash, cutting Ginyu's head off and destroying his body before he can change his body with anyone, because that would be a problem if he were to switch his body with Goku, because he doesn't believe the other Saiyans would be able to handle him. The Ginyu Force, in shock of their captain just being killed, try and fight Goku back, but Goku doesn't even flinch at this and kills them all without any remorse. This one, Goku's not as merciful because he's already seen his universe getting destroyed. And they continue on their path of destruction, destroying all of the Frieza-owned planets. Well, not the planets. Okay, let me explain something. They're destroying planets that are uninhabited. They're just used by the Frieza Force's bases without any civilians, just straight military bases. And after the 3rd planet, Frieza starts to take notice after he gets word that some of his planets are being destroyed. That's when Frieza decides to move. Frieza wouldn't be too worried by this, because it's just another weakling to him, until he sees the footage of the Ginyu Force being completely destroyed in the blink of an eye. That's when he makes his way towards the Saiyans to kill all of them, along with Zarbon and Dodoria. They continue on this path for a few more days, and then they decide to rest on a planet, resupply on fuel and food, and train a little bit. Them fighting, not really fighting, just sparring to kind of pass the time. Then they see the flagship of Frieza land on this planet, sensing their power levels. He was able to sense them with Nappa and Vegeta not being as accustomed to lowering and hiding their power levels, which made them kind of stick out with this random planet out of nowhere having a being with a power level of 8 million on it. Frieza's not having any of this. Frieza instantly turns into his final form and has his army besiege the planet, trying to destroy it before the Saiyans know what's happening, hoping to kill them inside the explosion, and those that survive the explosion being killed by a vacuum of space. Goku senses this immediately and goes to confront Frieza, who's forming a death ball right above him, releasing it right as he appears before Frieza, knocking it away, destroying Frieza's flagship and a large chunk of his army. Frieza being in awe. Then he realizes something. He realizes that Goku's a Saiyan. He knows this because he'd remember this person's look anywhere, reminding him of the Saiyan that rebelled against him all those years ago, the Saiyan that he killed. Frieza, seeing this, gets angry. Not only could he not kill a filthy Saiyan, the sand could actually deflect his death ball. This makes Frieza completely rabid with anger. It just fights Goku head on. Goku, seeing Frieza coming toward him, decides to go Super Saiyan. He could use Kaioken, but he wants Frieza to see the off factor of Super Saiyan. With a power level of 30 million in base and 1.5 billion in Super Saiyan, Frieza stands no chance. Is quickly dispatched of. Along with the rest of Frieza's army that came. And they all head back to the planet, thinking that their mission is finished. What Goku had forgotten about was King Cold. King Cold at this point, after hearing the news of his son's death, leaves in an attempt to trail the ship that the Saiyans are on, killing them all for killing his son. King Cold is actually able to trail them all the way to Earth. Well, I'm gonna say he trails them all the way to Earth, cloaking his ship, because it makes sense that King Cold's able to cloak his ship, especially with their technology and everything. Head back to Earth with King Cold trailing them. When Goku lands, he waits for Trunks. But a few minutes before Trunks lands, Goku senses it. He senses the being coming toward the Earth. King Cold fires off a blast that kills an entire human city. Goku's enraged that he didn't think of this before. Not being as acquainted with King Cold's existence as he thought because King Cold completely slipped his mind. Because aside from the main timeline, Goku never met King Cold. He only heard of him. So Goku wasn't really thinking of him. He was only thinking of Frieza. Goku seeing this instant transmission directly behind King Cold and plunges his arm through King Cold's chest, killing him and killing the rest of King Cold's forces, and leaving the ship for Bulma. Just as Goku finishes this, Trunks lands on Earth. Trunks tries to explain to Goku that he's from the future, but Goku says he already knows. And he tells Trunks part of the future that he's already dealt with the androids and everything. Trunks saying this is actually pretty shocked, thinking that his time machine was the only one, and that time travel wouldn't be used again. That's when Trunks decides to stay in the past for a year to train and kill the androids in his world. Goku takes the heart medicine, and I'm gonna say Trunks stays the full 3 years. I'm gonna say this full 3 years they're training with Goku and Vegeta and everyone, and I'm gonna tell you about their powers compared to the original timeline around this point. Goku at this point is about 5 times as strong as when he faced Cell with Master Super Saiyan. Gohan is actually stronger than his Super Saiyan 2 counterpart without even tapping into Super Saiyan 2. I'm gonna say he's 25% stronger than his Super Saiyan. You know what? 35. It's more reasonable to say 35 because Gohan's training, but he's not training as hard. 35% stronger than his Super Saiyan 2 counterpart. Vegeta is actually 30% stronger than Goku was during the Cell Saga. Yes, he still has a way to go. Trunks is actually stronger than Vegeta by around 25% because Trunks started off with a greater power level and already knowing Super Saiyan. And actually, it'd be fair to say that he's actually stronger than 25%. He's actually more than 25% stronger than Vegeta. I'd say 50% actually. And we're gonna say Trunks actually, when he leaves, he's actually mastered Super Saiyan during this portion. He's actually mastered it because Goku has actually already mastered. He's already mastered Super Saiyan since before the Saiyan Saga, because he could already tap into it, having prior knowledge of Super Saiyan. And he's just able to go into Super Saiyan 2. He's just acquired this probably the same year that Future Trunks arrived. Everyone goes to see Super Trunks off. Why do I keep saying Super Trunks? Everyone goes to see Future Trunks off, and Goku warns Trunks of Goku Black's existence, and he tells Trunks to find Whis and ask for training. And we're gonna say Trunks. He's gonna ask for training from Beerus, and Beerus should already be awake, unless he should already be awake. So he goes. So Trunks goes to actually train with Whis during this time. And actually, Trunks destroys Majin Buu ahead of time. You know, when he destroys Deborah and Babidi inside his timeline, he does this without any effort whatsoever. Because by the time they've come, he's already stronger than Super Saiyan 3 Goku. In this, we're going to go inside the 7-year time skip of everyone trained up. And I'm going to give everyone's power at this point. With Nappa and Raditz tied, being the same strength as post 7-year time skip Vegeta. Piccolo being ahead of them, being as strong as Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Because Piccolo's a training fiend, and I wouldn't say that Nappa and Raditz are the same. With Vegeta's power level actually being 5 times that of Piccolo. And Gohan actually being 30% stronger than Ultimate Gohan, because although his potential wasn't unlocked, he's actually been training during this time, with Goku urging him to do so. And speaking of the man, the myth, Goku himself, let's just say that Goku is actually 10% the power of God Goku when he arrives on Earth. Because Goku still decided to go into Otherworld and to die. But he doesn't go to Otherworld. He goes to the Supreme Cloud Planet and goes there and trains inside God Ki ahead of time, making him much, much stronger, with his base, even without God Ki, being 10% that of his Super Saiyan God counterpart. And that's actually an enormous amount, because Goku wasn't confident that Vegito could beat. He wasn't confident that Vegito could even stand a chance against Beerus. And this is Super Vegito. And Goku continues to train. Babidi comes to Earth, and he actually resurrects Majin Buu, but he's quickly dealt with without any issues. And next portion, we're gonna go into the rival of Beerus and Whis.